In today's video, I'm going to be going through a bot called uSNKRS. uSNKRS is 100 Great Britain pounds, and the license lasts for about 6 months. Once the 6-month mark hits, you're just going to have to pay the renewal for it to renew for another 6 months from there. When you open the bot itself, you're met with a beautiful user interface, as you can see here. You got a nice warm welcome on the left side. You got some statistics about your runs and your checkouts. You have upcoming releases outlined, and then you have your purchase history on the right side. First things first, you'll want to go over to the settings, and within the settings page, you're going to pop over to where it states webhooks, and you're going to set your hooks. So set up your success webhooks as well as your failures, and make sure to press save as well. You can do a test notification right underneath that if you need to too. Then you're going to pop over to the Nike Fillers tab. In the Nike Fillers tab is where you're going to be adding your billing information so that you can add it onto your accounts. So you're going to click add profile to add them on an individual basis, or you're going to go to import AYCD profiles if you want to bulk import them. AYCD is a tool, and this is useful in the event where you're running more than just a couple accounts. It just makes the billing information adding into the bot process a lot easier and smoother. So, but for demonstration purposes, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to add one profile today. So when you click add profile, it's going to ask for information. So we're going to write my information all in here. As you see, we're going to go to the United States. We're just going to add a zip code. Let's click Washington, sure. And you get your phone number. And then a profile name, we're going to name it Polar Chefs Test. On the right side, you get your credit card info. You're going to add in there. And then underneath it, where it says suggestions, it's just evaluating how good the information is that you've given. So I've gotten a 100% score rate simply because all the information is unique. Once you've done this, you just click add profile. It says card number length is wrong. Let's try this one more time here. There we go. And it will appear here. So as more cards get added in, this list will continue to grow. Once you've added your billing information in, then you're going to pop over to what is called Nike accounts up here. So this is where you would be adding in the Nike sneakers accounts that you plan on running. So simply click add sneakers account. And as you can see, there's a format here. So the format would be, say, polarchefs@gmail.com. Then you separate it with that line there, and then you can put the password here, right? And then you'll press save. Once you've done that, it adds the information in as needed. One thing that is important to know, because you might be wondering what all these are. So IMAP is basically your Gmail integration, or if you're using if your email address for your Nike login belongs to, say, Outlook or Yahoo, you'll enable IMAP and you'll add the integration into here. So if in the event where Nike triggers a password reset, this will automate the process of the password change for you. So I'm not going to get too much into the details of this because it doesn't happen as often and I don't want to confuse you guys. On the right side, you got a few different buttons here. You got your delete account. You can edit your account, or you can refresh their FP and delete the session folder. So you would only use these two in the event where you're experiencing issues during drops. So once you've done that, you're going to go over to draw profiles. Now you're going to have to link the billing info to the account. So as you can see, my draw profile is here. I'm going to click the link button, and then I could set a default size if I want, or I could just leave it at none. I can add a proxy in here if I wanted to connect and marry the proxy to the Nike account, or I can leave it blank. And then up here is where I actually assign the billing info to that account. So we're going to go link profile, and now they're connected together, right? So when I want to run them during a drop, it automatically knows what billing information it should be using. So once this is done, you're going to come over to Proxies. Now, if you didn't add the proxy to the account in that page, this is where you're just going to create a proxy group for yourself. You're going to enter your proxies in here, right? So We're gonna add this, and we're gonna, I mean, obviously it's not real, so I might run into issues, but there we go. So you can click check proxies. What it'll do is it'll open a little browser for you, and it'll see if it connects to the Nike site or not to test it. Or you could do without and just go save without checking, and then it automatically saves that for you. Then when it comes to creating your tasks, you can use this group to use for your task proxies. So tasks, you can create tasks two different ways. You can either do them manually through here, or you could do it through the release calendar. I personally always go to the release calendar. It's just it's a lot easier. It's more simple. You can select your region. So we're doing the United States, and then it tells you what's dropping, and whether if it's a Nike app drop or if it doesn't say Nike on there, you know that it's a sneakers drop. It has the sizes underneath there, which is pretty cool because it color codes whether if it's high stock or low stock. And then you can create tasks directly by clicking the plus button, which will take you over to the task creation section. So it's already selected the mode for you. It's already selected the product. What you'll need to do now is select your size. So I'm going to select the size range. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to click the bottom. So it selects all. Left side I got profiles. I'm going to select my profile. And then proxies, if I had assigned proxies to my profile, then I would click this. But in this case, within the video, I didn't assign a proxy to it. So I'm just going to click the proxy that I had created in that group there. You have reuse proxies, defaulted to no. Don't change that, because what you should be doing is for each account that you run, you should have one IP. You don't want to double run or triple run it. You could schedule task start times. So this is very beneficial to you if you plan to sleep through the drop, or if you're not home. You could schedule the start time. So if the drop, for example, is at 10 a.m. EST, you could schedule the launch time of your tasks for 9:40 a.m., 20 minutes earlier, and it'll automatically start all of your tasks for you. Launch distribution, by default, it's at 0. It recommends 100 milliseconds, but this is just distributing your tasks, so that if you have 20 accounts loaded up, which is 20 tasks, it's not firing 20 windows open at once, which can cause issues through the CPU as well as a RAM usage spike. So you can adjust this as you see fit based off of the milliseconds. If you're starting your task 20 minutes earlier, you have 20 full minutes to start your tasks, basically. Then you have schedule entry start. So when do you want your tasks to actually enter the draw? By default, it's at 27 seconds. It says 7:27. I'm located PST, so the drop for me is at 7 a.m. But basically, wherever you are in the world, it will show your time zone's number. And then by default, it says 27 seconds after the hour, it'll start to enter the drop. Same thing here, entry start distribution. That's just how many are submitting entries. You can set that up as you see fit. The right side, there's a timeout delay, there's a typing speed delay, and then there's a number of retries. Just set all of them to default, leave it as is, don't touch it. And then same thing goes when it comes to loading the images. So do you want it to load the product image or not? Just leave everything as is and click create tasks. And there it is. So it's created the task for me now. Up here you have some analytics, so it just says total tasks. You'll have total tasks running, how many have actually entered the draw, and then how many checkouts you've got from that. And then there's a variety of other self-explanatory buttons that are available to you up here. So when it comes to running the task, just click start. And now it's not going to work, of course, because the proxy that I have in there is not real. So it's going to say proxy load error, change proxy. But as you saw that window popped open, it's just going to go through the steps of searching for the product, adding it to cart, and waiting for the drop to happen so that it can enter the draw for you. But that's it. This is how easy it is to use sneakers. Use uSNKRS. If you are following these steps and you're still noticing that your tasks are running into issues, just circle back through the steps again and see where you could have missed something. Make sure your proxies are working. Make sure that the username and the password of your Nike account is correct. Make sure that you have acquired your sessions, how do you acquire sessions? You would do the session acquisition basically before you even start running a task. And that's through creating a save session task right here, right? You'll run, I'm not gonna, we'll just do, they're not real accounts, so it's not gonna work, but basically you would set up save session, and then very much like what you see here, you'll press start, it'll log in, and then the task status will say save session. And the login session is always there, so it doesn't have to log in every single time that a drop happens. So you would do that. The other avenues to troubleshoot is always obviously reaching out to support and having either your Discord support group for your cook group or the uSNKRS Discord server go through what's happening. And then lastly, sometimes because Nike's servers can get overloaded because there's many people botting it, you might notice that the window is open and maybe it's not loading, or maybe it's not going through the steps. You can either guide it by clicking the window stuff yourself, or you can stop the task and then restart it again and go through there. So that's it. This is uSNKRS. Very easy to use. If you're in the Polar Chefs Discord and you got questions, feel free to ask. If you're not a member of ours, that's okay. You can, of course, purchase a membership if you want, but if you already belong to a group of your own and you want to ask them for support, if they're willing to help you, I'm sure they will. Or outside of that, you got the uSNKRS Discord itself, where they have lots of other guides available, as well as staff members that can help support you. So thank you for watching. Best of luck. Hope you have a great day.